right, everybody. You got two of us here today.
Woo!
Hi.
Hi.
I feel like we haven't done this together before.
It's been since probably a tropical system.
Yeah.
I think, sadly enough, that's probably the last time we did one of these, or some sort of other nasty weather day.
You want to know what I think the last time?
What do you think it was?
Tally snow.
Oh, you know what? It may have been.
I think so.
That's insane. That is crazy. You know what? That jogged my memory. Was there a day where we were handing off and we did one of these?
Oh, I think we did.
In like the early afternoon, maybe?
Probably.
Yeah. But aside from that, it probably was snow in Florida, which was like, what? It's funny because all those photos popped up on like memories. I'm like, wow, that was like half a year ago.
First off, 6 months ago.
I don't know how it has been that long.
This year is like flying by.
How is tomorrow August? That's what I want to know.
Stop, I know. Which I'm kind of freaking out because usually like I'm an early Christmas shopper. If anybody wants to know,
You're better than me. You're way better than me. I'm that's one thing where I have not changed. My gift buying is still somewhat a little last minute, and my news has brought my time management up so much. I feel like
that still gets pushed back.
But that is the one thing where I'm like, oh, I'll do it. I gotta get the card in the mail. I got this in the mail, or I gotta buy this or buy that, and yeah.
If I just see something that makes me think of somebody and I'm like, oh yeah, this person is definitely going to be on my Christmas shopping list, I'm like, oh, I'll grab it.
That's good. That's proactive.
But then I bite myself in the butt later because I'll forget that I bought it, and then they have just an extra Christmas gift, or it's a birthday gift that I'll probably also forget that I bought them as well. So I'm a little bit behind on my Christmas shopping, but
my mom does that. She's like, I forgot this gift. I was cleaning out the closet, and I bought this for you. I was like, oh, wow, I love it.
But, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's August.
And you know what does come out this month? Or I should say next month, in like, I think it's maybe 2 weeks-ish? The pumpkin spice lattes.
Oh my
they
God,
are back at Starbucks.
It is too early for that. Okay. And
Where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line on well, it's not going to feel like fall because we live here, but...
True. I don't know. I respect the summer months. So
Yes.
As soon as it's fall, sure, fair game. Mid-September, pumpkin spice all you want. Oh my gosh, when I walked into Home Goods the other day and it was just all Halloween.
Was it all Halloween, all fall?
All Halloween.
Wow.
I was like, this is too early. I gotta walk out. Like, no. I can't even think about this because it's still summer. But summer to me is basically through September. November is the start of summer.
That's when you start of fall, or like when you start to feel start of October. Yeah, I'm jumping the gun. I'm jumping the months. I know.
If that means we get through hurricane season a little bit quicker, I'm okay with it.
I'm just happy that it's been the year that it has been. I know we're getting into a more intense part of the season, but I'm just happy that someone at the gym today was like, it's been quiet. I'm like, it is, and we will take every ounce of it.
Stays that way for sure. We're getting a couple people writing in.
Good.
Michael.
I'm gonna share this.
Writing in from Daytona. And
hi, Michael.
It's hot. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And then Harry also writing in from Titusville. We are live on Fox Local. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. And you get two of us today instead of one. So
two for the price of one.
Woo!
Buy one, get one free.
Even though it's already free, so we're just cheap.
That was great, Laura. That was perfect.
Good stuff.
Wait, my theory on why everything seems so early here is because of the parks. Because now Halloween is beginning in August, and at Universal, at Disney,
you are absolutely right.
At SeaWorld. So that was my theory. I'm like, why does everything feel like it's jumped really, really fast here in terms of all of the holiday celebrations? And I think it's the parks.
I think you're absolutely right. So Disney starts putting up their Halloween decorations when? August?
I know this much. We bought a ticket for Not So Scary for the Halloween part, and that's August 24th we bought it for.
Goodness.
So that means at least has to be by... So I don't know if it's going to be the week prior. I don't think it might have been. I think that was not even the first weekend. I think it might kick off in the middle of the month.
Great, that's
Here,
wild.
You know what?
And then
We'll find out right now. Let's see.
Christmas, the whole like changeover thing that they do from like fall to Christmas in
Isn't
just
that
like
wild?
12 hours.
Yes.
That happens right after the night of Thanksgiving. Black Friday?
I think it's funny because I know that November 8th, this is for Jollywood Nights. They're November 8th, so I don't know about Very Merry, but I know August 15th is the first Not So Scary Halloween party.
Wow.
So mid-August. That even, I think it might be even before the pumpkin spice latte launch.
Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, that's a little bit too early for me. I'm one of those hard believers that Christmas music is okay before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Any Christmas decorations after Thanksgiving.
That's good. I think we did it. It was the week of Thanksgiving. We were worried that the little tree, quote unquote tree farm in Orange City. I'm like, all the good ones are going to be picked over. We need to go get a good tree, so we got it. I think it may have been. Yeah, I think it was. I think it was the day or two before Thanksgiving, Laurel. I think it was up.
Oh.
I think because we watched holiday movies, I remember Thanksgiving night and the tree was up.
Okay, last holiday-related question, and then we'll actually get to the weather.
Yeah.
Is Nightmare Before Christmas a Halloween movie, or is it a Christmas movie?
That's a good question. So,
because that is one of my favorites.
That's one of your favorites?
That is one of my favorites. That's also my dad's favorite as well.
Is it really?
It is.
I think it can be played. In my head, it feels like more of a Halloween movie than a Christmas movie. Weigh in. We want to know what you think about this.
Yes.
I feel like this is a good
heated debate.
Heated debate. And it's also it's like Die Hard, a Christmas movie, and I'm like, I think Die Hard is not. Die Hard to me is not a Christmas movie, but I think a lot of people are like, no, it is, because they. Did it happen on? It
happens on Christmas Eve.
I've actually never watched Die Hard.
TJ.
I know.
Never mind. I'm pushing you out of the stream. You've lost.
I'm getting out of the stream. I've never watched
Die Hard.
There are so many movies. Eric's parents will ask me, namely his dad, and I'm like, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that. And that's one of the movies I feel like I need to watch.
Wow.
I know. I've never seen Die Hard.
That's a good one.
Okay.
It's a good one. I don't know if I would say it's a Christmas movie. Mm-hmm. But I would say that Nightmare Before Christmas is a Halloween movie.
I'm with you.
I think that is my opinion on that one.
It definitely teeters. Now, it's funny talking about the parks before we jump away. At Jollywood Nights, they have a Nightmare Before Christmas themed show.
Ooh.
For the holidays, for the Christmas.
Magic Kingdom?
This is at Hollywood Studios.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think where it is in the park, but they have a huge Jack puppet, a huge. So I think it's. So I think it depends on who you ask. I feel like Disney fans might differ. Some will say one way and some will, but I think I'm with you.
True.
I think Halloween. I teeter toward Halloween.
I feel like there's too many Christmas movies that Halloween does need like a little bit of.
A little bit of love. Yeah.
It's like Hocus Pocus, Nightmare Before
Halloween
Christmas,
Town.
Halloween Town. I made a reference to High School Musical the other day because
Did you?
The mystery camera looked like the golf course on High School Musical.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
And a lot of people wrote me in on Facebook being like, yes, that is true.
Was that good?
And I'm glad all of you are cultured. So
I love that. I would have also, if I was here, Eric has not seen High School Musical, and I'm like, how have you not seen High School Musical? I need to force it on him.
Yeah, no, that's a definite one. But let's actually get to the forecast. We've been done yapping for a while. So let's actually take a look at the radar real quick. Seeing a couple storms out there, but nothing too bad. But we are going to be seeing more rain on tap, taking a look at the weekend and the start of next week. It is hot out there right now. Here's the this current heat index. Some areas getting a little bit of rain right now in Kissimmee. Things cooling down into the upper 90s, but cooling down, not really. Seeing those temperatures lingering still in triple digits. Gainesville, Ocala, the Villages, New Smyrna. 102 feels like in Titusville right now. It is toasty. So we are going to continue to see those toasty temperatures as we take a look at the next couple of days, because already tomorrow's heat indices are still in triple digits, not as toasty as what we've been seeing the past couple of days, but overall we are still seeing those heat advisories in effect. Not as widespread as what we've been seeing the past couple of days, but it's still toasty out there, and it's going to continue to stay toasty as we head through the weekend, but finally starting to see a little bit of relief when it does come to that rain. So you can see our rain chances starting to amp up as we take a look at the start of the work week. So we are going to be continuing to see much more of that rain as we take a look through the rest of the evening, and I just want to call this out right now. Our digital director, Josh Progerio, fantastic person. He's putting High School Musical references in our group message right now, and I could not be more happy about that.
Same.
So, if anyone has any High School Musical references or Disney references or possibly some Disney hot takes, maybe one movie gears one more to one season than the other, we would love to know what you think. So, let's get to a little bit about the launch forecast today. That was a huge story that happened, and I'm going to actually pop my face up over here. So, launch for the Crew 11 launch was supposed to be happening earlier on today. That got scrubbed. Reason why it got scrubbed, 5 minutes before the launch actually happened, there was no rain on the Space Coast. 5 minutes before this launch was supposed to happen, we started seeing these little spotty showers starting to pop up, and because it was just a little bit too much of that cloud cover, that's what allowed that launch to be scrubbed. So unfortunately, we have to wait a little bit longer for that Crew 11 launch to happen. So unfortunately, today it was scrubbed for weather, but there is already a backup opportunity for tomorrow morning at 11:43. So taking a look at that time, this is the backup time, so keep an eye on live streams or head out to the Space Coast if you want to try to see this launch. However, I will say we're going to be running into similar problems. Sorry, I'm trying to find Facebook again. So we're going to run into some similar problems to what we saw today, but a couple of things that actually go into the launch forecast of what you see from the 45th Weather Squadron. They're kind of in charge of the launch conditions and kind of taking a look at the probability of weather being a factor within the launch. So surface winds can't be too strong at the surface. Once that rocket is just starting to lift up, it's the most vulnerable to changing trajectories as it's starting to gain that speed. Once it's at full speed, no problem holding that trajectory. It's more just it building up that speed that it can't be wavered too much. So that's something that we're going to be definitely keeping an eye on through the rest of tomorrow, especially because we're going to be keeping an eye on that launch forecast. But right now, we're going to be seeing the possibility of those clouds being a big factor through the day tomorrow. Luckily, though, I don't think we're going to be seeing too much lightning early tomorrow morning, but that's also another one of the factors, that there can't be any lightning or the possibility of an electrical field within the atmosphere within 10 nautical miles of the launch point. So, tomorrow, the 45th Weather Squadron, for the backup launch, 85% go for weather. The main concern is the clouds and the possibility of some precipitation kicking in. Looks like we do have some people that are going to try to go see it. Eli writing it on Facebook, possibly going to be seeing the rocket launch. Renee, we're going to talk about the tropics in just a second. And yeah, we're going to be continuing to just see those hot temperatures, seeing a lot of people writing in that it is hot where they're watching in right now. So speaking of which, let's actually talk about your Friday. We're going to be seeing those heat indices really starting to heat up, but also going to be seeing that rain really pick up as we take a look at the weekend as well. So this is something that's also going to be possibly impacting that launch tomorrow. The land starts to heat up quicker than the ocean, which does create a little bit of a sea breeze. So that's one of the factors that we're going to be watching as we take a look at tomorrow, as this launch is really starting to get a little bit closer to that time being. But we're also going to be seeing those rain chances really amping up for the weekend. And the reason why, and this is going to go get into our tropical discussion in just a moment, we have this cold front that's kind of been lacing across the southeast. And this is what's going to kind of drag a lot of moisture through central Florida as we head through the weekend. So taking a look, here is our European forecast. This takes this frontal boundary and it kind of just lingers in southern Georgia and northern Florida, and it very much acts as a roadblock. So this frontal boundary is bringing in all of this moisture. However, it really has nowhere to go because it has this wall block right here between these low pressure systems. And ultimately what's going to happen is all of this moisture needs to go somewhere, and unfortunately it's through central Florida. So much more widespread sea breeze storms going to be kicking in as we take a look Sunday, even into Monday and Tuesday as well, seeing more of those widespread storms. So heads up if you do have any weekend plans. As for how much rain we could get, it's going to be pretty spotty of where we could see that as well. So just make sure, again, you're keeping an eye on the forecast as we head through the next couple of days. So we are going to be seeing a little bit more of that possibility of that widespread rain. Taking a look at Saturday, things look like they're going to stay south of the I-4 corridor and then start to move north of the I-4 corridor as we head into Sunday and Monday, possibly seeing more of that bullseye area of areas seeing the highest amount of rain in between Space Coast and Daytona Beach. So just heads up for that. Again, some areas are going to be getting some heavier rain, kind of just all depending on where you are when those storms do eventually pop up. But that ultimately does have to do with a lot of tropical moisture that's going to be pushing into central Florida. So let's switch gears just a little bit to the tropics. And before I do show this graphic, I am going to make one last quick check at the National Hurricane Center. So for those of you who don't know, National Hurricane Center updates their forecast at 8 p.m. So I always want to do one last check before I actually show this graphic to make sure either A, nothing popped up, or everything is still quiet. And luckily, things are still quiet out there. No activity expected for the next 7 days. So Renee, I saw you write on Facebook a comment here, so let me actually read that in full. But no activity expected for the next 7 days in the tropics. However, August is when things really start to heat up. And let me actually get back to our Facebook chat. And just for those of you who don't know, if you're watching on YouTube, Renee on Facebook is asking, hi there, can you please explain why the Saharan dust phenomenon is preventing major systems right now? How long could this potential last, and could we theoretically have no major systems this year due to sand floating across the ocean? So, Renee, great question. And Saharan dust is a big factor in why things are so quiet right now. And let me see if I can pull it up over here. So this is all the Saharan dust in the atmosphere. It is thick out there right now. And what it's actually doing to this little wave right here, it's almost kind of suffocating it in a way. So when we're talking about tropical systems like warm ocean water, moist air that has a lot of moisture within it, so then it can become a system that gains that circulation. But what that dust does, it actually creates this dry layer in between some, ooh, my goodness, hold on, wait a second. There we go. So the dust, really? Hold on. Let me see if I can back this out. There we go. So Saharan dust ultimately almost suffocates tropical systems as they're forming. So again, tropical systems like very warm ocean water, and they like very moist air. And what this dust does is basically put this dry layer within the air, so really nothing can form, or nothing can really tap into the moisture in the air well enough in order to form anything stronger or formulate even more. So a perfect example is something that's happening right here. We had this little wave that we're talking about right here, and that we've been watching, but because it's kind of surrounded by all this Saharan dust, this moisture is just going to completely dissipate because of how much dust is in the air and how dry it is in this area. Tropical systems don't like dry air, so that's one of the reasons why it's going to be staying quiet, especially across the Atlantic. However, this is a normal thing. This happens every single year. A lot of dust gets pushed up into the atmosphere, and there are these waves of moisture from the monsoon season in Africa that come off as systems of the African West Coast. And these waves, if they're in the Saharan dust, usually don't form as quick, or if there's little Saharan dust, they could kind of almost override it, and then eventually tap into the warm ocean water or the very moist air and then form into something. But we're still seeing a good amount of that dust. Usually it slowly starts to taper off as we head into the start of August, mid-August, but we are still seeing a good amount of dust, which is working in our favor for now. And I do want to preface this real quick, again, with the graphics that I'm about to show. Even though things are quiet right now, we look at a couple different agencies in order to get the best picture of what we could expect in the tropics. So with that, the National Hurricane Center looks at the next 7 days. So within the next 7 days, we're pretty much clear for tropical activity. Great news. However, we at Fox 35 like to give you a little bit of a go-ahead of something that may be happening in the future, or at least getting yourself on the radar, putting this on your radar in order to make sure that you are prepared and you are ready to go for this hurricane season when things do really start to pick up and that Saharan dust slowly starts to push out. So Renee, I hope that answered your question. I think things are really going to wake up in August. It's more just like how long is this dust going to be lingering around for in order for that first system to really move in. So I hope that explains it well enough. Great question. But most likely we are going to start to see that dust slowly start to push out, or at least thin in the atmosphere as we take a look over the next couple of weeks. So National Hurricane Center looks at the next 7 days, but what happens beyond that 7 days? So the Climate Prediction Center actually looks 2 weeks out and 3 weeks out. And again, huge preface, the forecast can change a lot in 2 weeks. So this is not gospel. This is not, this is exactly where we're going to be seeing a system. This is just kind of taking into account the warm ocean waters, and we're going to be seeing a lot of rain, taking a look ahead towards the start of August within that first week, moving across the East Coast. So that's something that we could possibly see with a lot of moisture, as well as those very warm ocean waters. Maybe could get a low pressure system started, but this is very, very slim with only a 20% chance. Even looking a little bit further, week 3, again, 3 weeks out, forecast is rarely right 3 weeks out, but there is the possibility for development way in the middle of August, so nothing for you to worry about right now, but definitely something to keep on your radar, that usually August is when we start to see the tropics wake up. For Atlantic tropical activity, after August 1st, 92% of activity still remains in tropic season, so things are most likely going to get busy. And also in August is normally when we see our first hurricane. So something that we're really going to be watching as we take a look at the next couple of weeks. Because again, we're only 2 months into hurricane season. We have a long way to go before we can finally breathe that sigh of relief that we are done with hurricane season 2025. Zachary writing in from Winter Springs and Oviedo. David, I miss Johnson City too. Dominic also writing in from Oviedo. Hi, Robin from the Tri-Cities. Represent. For those of you who don't know, that was my last market. I miss it very, very much. So anybody who's watching from the Tri-Cities area, love you all. And I'm so jealous about the Bristol baseball game. I want to go so bad. But it looks like we are out of time today. Tomorrow, heads up, there will not be a stream because I will be out live. TJ will be in studio for the early shows, and then I will have you for your forecast to get you into the weekend. All right, everybody, have a wonderful night. Make sure you tune in at 8 to hear all the latest of what's going to be happening with your weekend. Have a great night, everybody.